Good evening, everyone. My name is Alida van Almelo. I'm the Executive Director of the Valley Mountain Bikers and Hikers. I'm delighted to welcome everyone here this evening to the Matanuska Greenbelt Stakeholder meeting. I want to thank our stakeholders for taking the time to share your perspective on what's happening at the Greenbelt right now. I'd also like to thank UA Interim President Pat Pitney, UAF Chancellor Dan White, UAF Vice Chancellor Julie Queen, UA Regent Member Cache Garrett, and the Matanuska Experiment Farm and Extension Center Director Jody Anderson for taking the time to hear our testimonies and engage in a conversation this evening. I also want to thank the Mat-Su Health Foundation for sponsoring our advocacy efforts. They have made it possible for us to hire a third-party facilitator for this evening, host an informational website, and generally engage in productive advocacy efforts. The Matanuska Greenbelt Advocacy Committee came about from a mutual passion across a handful of local organizations to protect and preserve the integrity, connectivity, and character of the Matanuska Greenbelt. We all collectively felt a struggle in getting UA and UAF to engage in a productive conversation around the issue, so we decided to create that opportunity with this meeting. Our committee consists of the Alaska Farmland Trust, Mat-Su Trails and Parks Foundation, Mat-Su Backcountry Horsemen, the Matanuska Greenbelt Trails Association, and the Valley Mountain Bikers and Hikers. We planned this stakeholder meeting as a way to engage with as many voices from our community as possible regarding the gravel pit in the heart of the Greenbelt. With this evening's meeting, we hope to share how special this place is to us. We hope to convince UA leadership that the Matanuska Greenbelt is worth preserving, and we hope to engage in a conversation that explores and encourages alternative solutions toward a win-win situation for our community and for the university. Amy?
Thanks, Alida. Good evening, and thank you again all for being here. My name's Amy Pettit, and as you know, I'm the Executive Director of the Alaska Farmland Trust. Later on the agenda, I will testify on behalf of my organization, but for now, I'm speaking to you as a member of this advocacy committee who's been meeting for the past 5 weeks in an effort to make this evening happen. I want to echo Alida's sincere thanks to the members of the university and all of you community members who've taken the time to be here tonight. I heard there was some nationally televised event taking place this evening that might have been a draw for your attention, but as the saying goes, if you want to make a difference in the world, you start at your kitchen table. And so here we all are, many of us at our kitchen tables, coming together to highlight the crown jewel that is the Matanuska Experiment Farm and Extension Center and the Matanuska Greenbelt Trail System. When the excavator rolled onto the property back in August, many people were outraged at the thought of this incredible property being evaluated for gravel extraction. The members of this advocacy committee immediately jumped to action, creating the Save the Matanuska Greenbelt website, gathering testimonials, researching the title and deed transfer, and reaching out to the university and Board of Regents about our concerns. Although Chancellor White, you attended the community council member meeting and the Palmer Chamber meeting, we felt that there was a need to tell our sides of the story, to testify on behalf of the other values that this property holds, and to hopefully discuss alternative solutions to resource extraction other than the mining of gravel. Our advocacy committee consists of representatives from the Mat-Su Trails and Parks Foundation, Matanuska Greenbelt Trails, Mat-Su Backcountry Horsemen, Valley Mountain Bikers and Hikers, and Alaska Farmland Trust. You'll hear from each of us this evening, as well as from a select number of community members who've been engaged in this dialogue and outraged at the potential loss of this asset. Additionally, my colleague Dave Mitchell from the Great Land Trust will speak this evening with specific examples of projects his organization has completed to transfer lands from state ownership into permanent conservation. He will talk to us about funding opportunities and lay the groundwork for future discussions about the permanent protection of this property. Thank you, Dave, for taking time out of your vacation to join us. I also want to recognize our elected officials. Thank you to Senator Shelley Hughes, Representative Delana Johnson, Mat-Su Borough Assemblywoman Stephanie Nowers, and Palmer City Manager John Moosey. And finally, thank you to Elizabeth Ripley of the Mat-Su Health Foundation for joining us. To bring all of this together tonight, our committee opted to hire a professional third-party facilitator. We're appreciative that the Mat-Su Health Foundation also recognizes the value in this evening's discussion and sponsored our event costs. Without further ado, I want to introduce Allie Harvey of Information Insights. She'll be facilitating this evening, helping with the behind-the-scenes tech, monitoring the clock, and keeping all of us on track. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Allie.